So today we're checking out another mini PC, this time by KAMRUI. I want to thank them for sending this over to review on the channel. Current price as of this video is just over $300 in the United States, but I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information. Comes with Windows 11 Pro, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. You can upgrade this to 32 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of internal storage. Has an 11th gen Intel Core i5 11320H processor. It's going to work with a triple display setup. If you want to expand the storage, it supports an additional 2.5 inch drive as well. Inside the box, you've got a user manual. Pretty standard power supply, VESA mount with screws included, extra hard drive adapter, HDMI cable is included. You can see you've got a fingerprint scanner right there on the top. Your ports on the front, you've got a USB-C, 2 USB-A ports, headphone jack, and power button. VGA connection over here on the side. 2 more USB ports on the back, 2 HDMI ports, LAN or Ethernet port, and where you plug in the power. Not going to be the smallest mini PC I've looked at, but still pretty compact, fits in one hand. Definitely one of the easier ones to take apart here on the bottom. You don't really have to take anything off on the inside. You just take your adapter, plug it in down in the corner if you want to add that extra drive, and then it should just fit right into place there in the center. After running some Geekbench testing on here, this one got about 2,000 for single core, 6,000 for multi-core score, and then just under 11,000 for compute score. It's a little better single and multi-core score than the Ryzen 5 version I just reviewed by KAMRUI, but not quite as good compute score. Then pretty similar results to the B-Link Surf 5 that's got the Ryzen 5, and quite a bit better on all scores when compared to the Ace Magician, which I believe had an older i7 processor that I also tested recently. I also ran the 3D Mark Time Spy test, which is also pretty comparable to the Ryzen 5 version by KAMRUI. Surprisingly, this little PC can handle editing 4K video in Adobe Premiere as well, which is what I like to test, mainly because I do a lot of video editing, so it's easy to see if a computer is going to struggle. It's nice to see that this has plenty of power to where it didn't even seem to lag or have any delay when scrubbing back and forth on the timeline. You can also watch 4K YouTube videos on here with only a couple dropped frames, but one area where these mini PCs sometimes can struggle is when it comes to gaming. I tested Rocket League and surprisingly had no issues handling that at 30 or 60 frames per second, 1080p resolution, but I will mention after running the benchmark test for Forza Horizon 5, it was pretty low at only 25 frames per second, but it still seemed to run pretty smooth overall in my testing. It will probably come down to what games you play on here, but as for the games that I normally play, this one seems to be able to handle them better than I expected. It also didn't seem to get too hot after playing several games, so that's a good sign as well. Overall performance of this mini PC seems to be pretty good in my testing, probably one of the better ones that I've tested on the channel. Now obviously this isn't going to compete against a regular gaming PC that uses a bigger, more powerful graphics card, but as long as you know what to expect when using one of these, I think it'll work for people that are doing some video editing. If you just want to use this in your home office, it's just nice that it doesn't take up much space. And I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised by what you can do with a mini PC like this. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.